Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on the new Toxic Avenger film, which seen a wide release this year, but actually played a couple of years ago at some film festivals. And for a bit, it was kind of a question if this thing was even going to see the light of day. Whether it be VOD, some kind of actual release or what, but it was just kind of held in some kind of limbo for a while. But it did come out, I believe, this past year in September, and it's even seen a physical release, which is kind of a relief these days. Um, but yeah, I have an interesting relationship. Maybe not interesting, but mixed relationship with the Trauma Toxic Avenger, you know, uh, franchise per se. I guess I have not seen the sequels. I've seen the original film, and it's definitely it wears what is on its sleeve. It's an exploitation film. Um, and there's a place for that. I like some and admire some aspects about that kind of thing. But for me in that one, there were just certain things like, to say the thing with the guide dog and then the kid's head, just things that are literally just purely done for shock value, and I just don't see the humor or like the entertainment value in it. And you kind of question why someone would even put that on film. It's not a matter of me being soft or something like that. Everyone does have like their buttons, right? But it's just some of those things that just should not work for anyone. And why would they? Um, so I was curious, because I'd heard there was nothing with the dog in this film. Luckily, but this movie I think still manages to give the vibe and all the fixings for what someone should want with this kind of movie. Um, it has like a sleaziness to it. It's like a very dirty, very grimy R-rated to unrated, depending on which version you watch, comic book movie. Amazon, by the way, it has the R-rated version. I guess I had to like look into that for a brief time, but Apple and I forget where else they actually have the unrated version that played in theaters and at festivals, which there isn't much of a difference apparently, except for the the Dawn peeing scene and such. But yeah, all that to say, I did enjoy this movie. I am a big fan of Peter Dinklage. I think he's one of the best actors working over the past couple decades to me. Um, he is not Toxie in suit. He does the voice of him, and he plays the character Winston, for the origin per se. But as a stunt woman, actually, playing him from there on out again with Dinklage's voice. And apparently they spent a lot of time together to still get like Dinklage's mannerisms right and like how he'd want to move in certain scenes. Um, so that dedication there and attention is still kind of cool to know. Um, and it also features like Kevin Bacon in a villain role. Elijah Wood is in there. Um, Jacob Tremblay plays Winston's son. So you kind of give somewhat more of a story than the original film too. And there's still, like I said, there's a sleaziness to this real like dirtiness to everything. Uh, it's very violent. You get plenty of carnage candy per se. Some sweet kills, and it's paced again just like a very under the table kind of comic book action origin flick, and I liked it quite a bit. It wasn't like there was only like a handful of moments where I like laughed or chuckled out loud, but I did enjoy the duration. There's little things that kind of fit more into our times per se with some of the knocks on things. Um, it has to do with Dinklage's character Winston, being down on his luck with he's actually Tremblay's stepdad in this. So the mother had passed, and he's trying to provide. He finds out he has some kind of illness, which the details of which keep getting interrupted by some kind of massive noise at the doctor's office outside of construction. But he gets desperate enough for money, and Kevin Bacon is running this, very well-off company within the city, BCH, and the health plan and the coverage with that and everything. And Dinklage tries to ask him directly for help. He gets desperate. Um, but he goes up to the table, and then there's like this cop or officer of some kind next to Kevin Bacon, and the guy automatically stands up when he sees Dinklage approaching and goes, "Fear for my life," and aims the gun at him, which is funny. And there are a couple other little things like that, and kind of just like the crudeness it still has with some of the violence and everything like that, which again I think was still intact, without doing just like some just complete idiotic things like in the original. Um, while still being stupid and campy, and the movie still has a real fun kind of throwback vibe to it that I still think worked quite a bit. Um, Didn't absolutely love it, but I liked it, and I could see myself rewatching it. At this rate, I'm sure we're probably not getting any kind of sequel, but it's still nice to see something like this. So yeah, I will probably submit some kind of post about it on Letterboxd too. I'll be re-rating it probably like a 3.54, somewhere in there. Definitely on the better end of movies I've seen in 2025. So yeah, I think you guys thought about this one. Follow me on TikTok, of course, Twitter, Instagram. Later.